All right, guys, let's talk about next season and kind of the state of bass fishing right now. There's been a lot of changes. I mean, really over the past several years in bass fishing and professional bass fishing in the outdoor world. Most of them kind of relate to professional fishing, which doesn't really affect the normal bass fisherman. But for me, obviously, I've chosen this career in professional fishing, so it does affect me, and it affects a lot of the other people that I'm friends with in the pro fishing industry, and really just in the fishing industry as a whole. Just a lot of movement going on, a lot of different things behind the scenes going on, lots of different changes within the tournament organizations, within fishing companies, a lot of different sponsorship stuff. So just a lot going on. Kind of a crazy time in bass fishing. I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you've probably seen several other of the pros, other influencers, stuff like that, make videos kind of talking about the state of the industry. But at the end of the day, a lot of things happening, but there's still some good in the fishing industry. And I still think there's a pretty decent way of making a living if you can put in the work to really secure those sponsorships, secure those relationships with companies. All these companies are still looking to work with people. They're just being very selective about who they are working with. So a bunch of different stuff that we're gonna talk about today. Hadn't put this video out in a while because honestly I'd been thinking a lot about what I was gonna do for next season and kind of deciding which organization I was gonna fish with. Been talking to a lot of different companies about obviously sponsorship for next season and the seasons to come, kind of what different sponsors are looking for, trying to pick up new sponsorships, trying to expand my brand and work with different companies that cover a bunch of different categories. Ideally, been trying to get with some sponsors maybe outside of the fishing industry, some non-endemic type stuff. So just a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. The tournament season for the invitationals, pro circuit, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's the invitationals, but that season ended in August. So really the professional season, I mean, past August, it's kind of done. Same with the Bassmaster Elite Series. I think their last tournament's in like August. Sometimes it ends up being in September. But past that, we're kind of done for the season as far as professional fishing. I ended up fishing a bunch of Toyota Series this year. So once the season ended on the pro circuit, I still had, I think, 3 or 4 more Toyota Series that I ended up fishing. Had that Northern on the Potomac that I ended up winning, and then a couple other ones, and then qualified for the Toyota Championship. That was my last tournament of the season, and that was in November. So basically after that tournament, Toyota Series Championship, I was done for the season as far as fishing. So that leaves me with November, December, and like a few weeks in January before the new season starts. So it's a little bit of downtime, but not really, because there's so much happening. There's so much to prepare for the following season. And it's just a lot of planning, a lot of emails back and forth, a lot of phone calls with sponsors, planning for the tournaments that I'm gonna fish next season, starting to kind of get Airbnbs booked up, getting all my gear together. So there's actually a lot of work to be done that people don't really see behind the scenes getting ready for a new season. So been working on trying to sell my boat from this year. Actually got a new deal with a company for next year, so more to come on that pretty soon here. I'll be putting out a video whenever I go to pick up that boat, but drop a comment down below if you guys have any ideas on what kind of boat I'm getting for next season. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be a really sweet boat, and I can't wait to show you guys what it is and do the walkthrough on that. First on the water test with the new boat, all that kind of stuff, but it's gonna be a really sweet boat. I'm really excited about it. Super excited about it. It's gonna be nice. So drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys think on the boat. What do you guys wanna see me run for next year? Talked to a couple different boat companies, ended up securing a deal with one of them, so really excited about that. And I would say look for a video to drop on that, let's say in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'll probably make that announcement, go pick up the boat, put out a video on all that. So definitely look forward to that one. That'll be a good one. But anyways, so getting the new boat, getting it all rigged out, getting all my tackle kind of organized for next season. That's kind of on the agenda for these next couple of weeks. Finishing up sponsor contracts, trying to maybe pick up a few new sponsors. I'm kind of in the talks with a few companies that I didn't have for last season, So you never know when those are going to work out or not work out. It's a lot of back and forth with these companies, and honestly the fishing industry right now is kind of on a downward trend, and it's really hard to secure sponsorship from companies, especially for the guys that don't have any type of social media presence. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have this YouTube channel going, very fortunate to have a decent following on Instagram, and I work super hard to put out content on all my social media platforms. And that's really what you have to do these days to make it as a professional fisherman, as an influencer, as just somebody in the outdoor industry who wants to really just make some money doing it. I mean, it's really just not enough to go out there and catch a bass. You have to have some type of brand associated with yourself, and really that revolves around content creation. So YouTube for me has been a really big one. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching all these videos. Instagram, I've been doing a lot of reels over there, so if you're not following me on Instagram, go check that out. See Greico Fishing, or just search my name, Christian Greico, it'll pop right up. And then I'm starting to do a lot more on Facebook as well, cutting together some different clips onto there, and that's been going fairly well so far. So just a lot of work on the video side of things. I mean, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time to actually go out and film these videos, edit these videos, get them posted to YouTube, working on thumbnails, all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot of behind the scenes work, a lot of work besides just going out there and catching a bass. So that's really where the money in the industry is with content creation, because the companies and the brands can actually track the amount of views that you're getting. There's so many analytics that I can go into on my YouTube and share with companies, as far as demographics, how long people are watching my videos, where people are from that are watching my videos, age, all kinds of different stuff. So the companies are able to actually track that, and they have all kinds of different software that they use as well, that they can look at different people and kind of decide how much that person is actually worth to the company. So like I said, going out there and just competing and catching fish on the circuits really doesn't do that much for you. So that kind of brings me to the next thing, what I'm fishing for next season. It was a lot of back and forth. Obviously the two options are bass and Major League Fishing. I've been fishing with Major League Fishing for the past 2 years now on the pro circuit / invitationals. Before that, I did 1 year of the Toyota series, ended up qualifying my first year fishing the Toyota series. So really the past 3 years have been fishing Major League Fishing tournaments. In 21, when I was fishing the Toyota series, that I qualified for the 22 pro circuit, I also fished one division of the Bass Open. So got a little bit of experience on the Bassmaster side of things, but really MLF has been where I've made my career so far. But MLF has had a lot of changes over the past couple years, a lot of changes this year in particular that they announced for the years to come. And obviously a lot of the anglers weren't really too happy about it, myself included, but there was a couple of new things that came out that kind of made things seem a little bit better than what they originally seemed. So they were gonna cut the field to like 50 for next year. Now they're gonna do 65. I think they are gonna go down to 50 and 25. But I kind of heard like some of the background behind why they're doing all of that, and I wouldn't say I'm 100% sold on it, but there's some things that are happening that I'm interested in. They sound good, but really guys, at the end of the day, it does matter what organization you're fishing with, but I'm my own business. Major League Fishing, Bassmaster, they're their own businesses. Their job is to promote their business. My job is to promote my business. So I'm not an employee of the tournament organization that I fish for. I'm my own employee. I'm my own boss. I'm self-employed. All the content creation that I do is all part of my brand. Those companies can obviously help to promote you. Bass and MLF can promote anglers, and that's obviously helpful. But the way that things are going, I mean, social media is really where all the promotion is. And I've already worked so hard to build my brand that everything that I do, I want to come back to me. So all that's to say, it doesn't matter a whole bunch, in my opinion, which organization I'm fishing with. And at the end of the day, I decided to stick with Major League Fishing, although I was very, very close to pulling the trigger on going to the Bassmaster Opens. But I really just didn't want to go over to Bassmaster and feel like I was trying to re-qualify for another tour. I mean, I already worked to qualify for the Invitationals. It's somewhat of a professional circuit, although things get kind of confusing there because we have the Invitationals and the Bass Pro Tour. My ultimate goal is to qualify for the Bass Pro Tour, and that's been my goal for the past 2 years. So I want to at least give that another couple years to try to qualify for that Bass Pro Tour. And I really think within the next 2 to 3 years I can do it. I really have a good feeling going into next year that if things come together, if I fish clean, I mean, I feel like I'm right there as far as skill level to qualify for the Bass Pro Tour. You just really need everything to go right during the course of a season, especially for next season. They're only taking 5 guys versus the 9 that they took this year. So really you just have to have a lot of things go right for you. But skill wise, I feel like I'm right there. Just need to have the breaks go my way versus the breaks not going my way, which is kind of what happened this past season on the Invitationals. I was on fish pretty much every single tournament. Pretty much had the bites every single tournament to make like a top 50, and just had a lot of bad breaks throughout the course of the season. But that's how fishing goes. So I'm looking forward to next season. I mean, I'm fishing for a living. I've got great relationships with sponsors. I've been able to pick up a bunch of great companies that I'm able to promote through my YouTube channel, through my Instagram. And honestly, guys, they're all companies that I truly believe in. I have great relationships with all of them. And most of them I've had since I started fishing on the pro circuit in 22 is when I started fishing the pro circuit. So I've been pro circuit 22, Invitationals 23. And pretty much all of the sponsors are on board again for 24. So I mean, they're really companies that I enjoy working with, that I've been able to build relationships with. So appreciative of all of them, appreciative of all of you guys who have supported those companies and reached out to me asking questions. I get so many questions about the 13 fishing rods, reels, Guggen baits, the Sniper Skin grips that I use, Monster Marine Lithium, Smith sunglasses. I mean, I've got a bunch of great sponsors in the industry, and you guys have been great about supporting those. So continue to do so. That's how I can make all of this happen, is by creating these videos, promoting those sponsors, engaging with you guys. And I always try to get back to all the messages, as many of the comments as I can when you guys ask me questions. So if you guys have anything for me, the best way to reach me, honestly, is to send me a DM on Instagram. I try to get to every single message that I get on there. So if you ever have any questions for me, really about anything, feel free to message me on there. I try to go through my Instagram pretty much daily and get back to any DMs that I get on there. So if you need to contact me about anything, ask me about rods, reels, baits, tackle, boats, whatever you want to ask me, pretty much, I'll give you an honest answer to those. So feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. But that's about all I got for you guys at this point in time, I think. Fishing the Major League Fishing Invitationals. I'm going to do the Southern Toyotas as well. We'll probably end up mixing in a few other Toyotas throughout the course of the season. I mean, those are great tournaments to fish, guys. If you guys are looking to fish some upper level tournaments, those are $1,700 entries, and the payback is actually really good on those. There's a really good shot of making some decent money, and especially if you qualify for that championship. The championship's $200,000 for the winner. That's almost as much as the Classic and Red Crest for just fishing Toyota Series. So that's a really good deal, and it's a free entry fee. If you make like a top 10 on that, you're making some pretty serious money. So definitely, if you're looking to fish some tournaments at a little bit higher level, definitely look into the Toyota Series. Those are a really great deal, and those are really fun to fish. So doing a bunch of Toyota Series for next year again, like I did. And then we got some stuff working behind the scenes that I'll kind of get to over the next couple weeks as I get ready for the tournament season. But I think that's about all I got for you guys right now. I just wanted to get on here, let you guys know where my head was at as far as tournaments for next season, give you a couple of updates, kind of share a couple thoughts on the fishing industry. I think that's everything, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. Also, we've got the Potomac Day 3. That should be out either at the end of this week or early next week. If you haven't watched days 1 and 2, I'll link that below. That was the 5th invitational of the season. And so days 1 and 2 are out. I made the top 50 cut, so the day 3 video fishing that final day will be out really soon. Caught them like flipping and chatterbaiting, so it's a pretty cool video. Potomac sets up a lot like Florida, and I've been pretty fortunate out on the Potomac. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys watching this video, and we will see you at the next one.